Hello guys and YouTube. We are now passing over to part 2 of this episode. So here you need to refer to my previous playlist if you want to know something more about the codes that I have explained here. But if you know Node.js to certain level, you can tag along here. So basically you can see my server is started, my MongoDB is connected, and it is running at port 5000. So in my previous playlist videos, you can see that I have employee.js. Currently in this video, we will not be using employee.js, but I wanted to tell you an extension or scaling up method for combining all these routes. For example, you can see here I have employee route, post route, and user route. So I am combining it into index.js. How do I do that? Let's look at it. So we can see here that the index.js is exporting the employee, user, and post routes. So that is how we combine all the routes together. So that what happens is that if you look at the app.js, we are just requiring the routes with index. That's what we are seeing here. So now you can see that we are just using app use with routes index. Otherwise we had to use app use with route employees, route post, route user, so it clocks this area, right? So this is more simple and lean. So that's what I wanted to show you. So back to index.js and then let's go to post and user. So in this user route, we are just having the JWT. So you can see here in package.json we have installed JSON web token. So it's simple to install it. Just take this package.json and do an npm install, or if you already have package.json you can do npm install JSON web token. Once that is done, we'll go back to user.js. So in the user.js we can see here router post API login with username, right? And then here is what I have told you for login. Remember my diagram? We are doing JWT sign with user process environment access token secret. So where does this come from? How to configure the configuration file I have explained in previous videos. So here you can see I have defined access token secret, refresh token secret. Of course, refresh token secret we'll take up later in yet another episode. So this is how you declare the configuration variables. So this is an example which will be available in GitHub. Actually, you have to define it inside config.env, which I won't be able to show you because of my credentials in the MongoDB server. So you can do a similar one. And my MongoDB is connected already. You can see here there's a post, some data is there. I'll explain to you later on that. So that's what the setup, overall setup. Having explained to you this overall setup, let's go to the user.js. So here what we are doing is we are doing the signing in with JWT with user, which has username currently. Of course, you can put ID or email, anything. So after that, the expiry is set. So it can be 2 hour, 1 hour, 15 seconds, or 1 day, like that. So you can put the expires in. Currently I have put it 3 hours. And what is the response we will get? Response.json access token, which is nothing but the token. Now what happens is, let's first look at the Insomnia, my favorite platform to check REST API. I have a login JWT route, which is nothing but localhost API login to tally with what I have written here in the code. You can see API login. So that is the localhost API login. And after that, we will have JWT sign with the access token from the configuration file. And finally, we will get the access token. So let's see it in action. So I have in JSON format username as Raju, and I will send it. How many times I'm sending also, I'll be able to get the access token. Can you see that? You can see the last probably the 3 digits or 3 letters. It is 28Y now. It is P0M now. BDK. So it's keeping on changing. The access token is different at different sending calls. So anyway, we can take any of these access tokens. So inside this access token, this username Raju is already in place, is already embedded together with our secret code. So that is the beauty. It's not easily possible to decipher the JSON token unless we have the secret key. So secret key will be embedded, as I told you, inside the application, and nobody will be able to access it, and hence the security level is very high for JSON web tokens. So you can see here that we are getting a JSON web token now. That's it. Now let's go to the other routes, which is post. So here we have two routes inside the post. One is a get and another is also another get. First one is getting all the posts. Second one is getting the particular user post where we have username given. Now things get a bit complicated here because we are having a terminology called middleware. But if you look at the middleware, it's very easy and quick to follow. So let's go into the middleware folder. Middleware has a file called index.js, and here we have require JSON web token as usual, and then we'll have the module exports. So here we are calling the middleware authenticate token. You can put get token or check my token, anything possible here. But the format should be the same, or the syntax should be the same, right? So that's the most important thing. Understand the syntax here. So function authentication token request response and next, because we are using a next here. And probably this is a good example of generator function. If you see my React videos for interview questions, you'll be able to understand the generator function. So this is nothing but a generator function with the next. And then what happens is here is that we are getting authentication header from the request headers, which is termed as authorization. I'll explain to you in a bit from now. So then we'll get the token as authentication header split with a space, and we will get the first index of that. Again, I can explain to you in a while. So let's just go through this function first. If token is null, that means there was no token, just simply respond to the status of 401, that means no token. And then if everything goes fine, we will do a JWT verify, where we will take token process environment, which is access token secret. Remember that we were using this secret code for generating the token, so we had to use the same secret code for verification of the token. And we will get a callback error user, and then request.user is set as user. then it goes to the next. So this is how the middleware works. So this middleware is being called in the post. As you can see, const authentication token require this middleware index. So here again we can combine many middlewares. Currently I have only one middleware, so I put it inside the index. If I have maybe 10 middlewares, then I can combine everything together and make it into one index file. So authentication middleware index, and then we will have a post model. So I will explain to you on the model now. Post model. So here we have post, which is having a title, which is a body, and username. Important thing is that unique. Unique is true. That means there cannot be 2 or 3 same usernames. So if we look at the MongoDB, you can see title, body, and username. There are 2 users here with the username of Sammy and Raju, right? So we will filter them out and see the response later. That's why I have put 2 users here. So now we are having this post model already defined. Then we export it as post, and that is what we are getting inside the post. Can you see here? Post require models post. Then we are defining routes as usual, router get and router get. So that is what we are going to see in a short while from now. So here is a general call where we will get all the posts. That means the find doesn't have anything here. There's no constraints here, so it is going to return all the data in this function. But here you can see here that we are having a constraint here where post username was request user username, and hence we will get the response with a filter command. So that explains how all these posts are filtered. So let's see in action now in the Insomnia. So here we already logged into Raju. So I copy this, and then get all posts doesn't require any data. It doesn't require any header even as of now. So I just send. I'll get all these 3 posts which are available in the MongoDB. Let's see, first post title, second post title, Sammy's post here. First post title, second post title, and Sammy's post here. This is what we are getting here from the database. So now we got all these posts which corresponds to this route, which is get all the posts. Now we are going to get user posts. That means for a particular username. So how do we get that? We pass in the middleware, the authentication token. So middleware does what? Middleware is verifying the token together with the access token secret, and it returns the user. So what we can do here is that if everything goes right, correct, we'll just console log user. So in order to know that we have typed it, we'll put something like my user is here, and I save it. So currently, let's look at the console now. Nothing is there, right? So once I did this call, we'll be getting that. So get user post. Before that, I have copied this token first. Get user post header, and this is how we do it. Authorization, the header, and then the bearer. Bearer will have this space followed by the token which I copy here now. Then I send it. You can see the first post title by Raju. So let's edit in the database just for information purpose, right? So I'll do an edit here and I will change it to Raju and I'll update. Let's check again just for the fun portion of it, right? So we got 2 here, you see, because the username is Raju. So I put back the username as Sammy. So understanding the thing is very important, guys. How everything is happening. Then you can master easily. So let's click again and see. Send. One post is available because the all other post belongs to Sammy. So let's try one more exercise here. Let's change this Raju to become some other, say Biju, right? Update, and then I click here. It returns an empty array because there is no data corresponding to login with the name Biju, right? And I copy this. Then I go to get user post and header. I paste it, send. I got Biju. So what I want to show here is that the JSON Web Token JWT contains all this information of who is logging in. That is the most important part to understand here. So let's bring it back to Raju first. Update. Okay, so that's updated. Yeah, I got this data here. You can see here what was being done. You can see the sign in was done with a secret, which is the login portion, and the token was given. Assume there's a friend end received it, and then friend end is giving back to access the data or get the post of that particular person which is having the token, and then the secret code is combined and the verification is done through the middleware, and finally we'll get the data, which in turn is used to filter the posts. So that I have shown, not shown here, but user data we can see here. We also can see this user data in our setup. So let's see that. Somewhere I have put user here, right? Here is the place I have put, which is the place. This is in the middleware. The middleware I am intercepting to check my user is properly decoded through the JSON Web Token verify. So let's check that. So now I am going to combine running this with the get user post send. Okay, Biju is not there. We have to log in as Raju now because we changed it. Remember that. So I change it to Raju. Get the token. Get the token here. And then I will use it in my header with the space. Remember, the space is very important. I will come to that soon. So let's check all the format is correct. There cannot be any quotes or any braces. Should be a pure string. Okay, send. So we got the Raju data. Now if we look at the terminal, you can see the latest one is here, Raju. The username has come out as Raju with the expiry. So that is how the middleware functions. So middleware functions together with the JSON verification, and we are able to get the user data. So this user data is passed to the next which is being called in the post. The routes here through the authentication web token. This is the middleware, guys, very important. Now if we talk about the middleware, I told you or promised you that I will explain the space there, right? So let's go into the middleware. So here you can see the token is auth header. That means if the auth header is available, and auth header if available, then you split it. If not available, then there will be an error coming out, and then token is null. That means the return send status will be 401. So what I wanted to show here is if the token is available, then we split it at the space and then take the index 1. So what is meaning by that? Here you can see bearer with a space and then the token is here. That's what is being translated as code portion here. Auth header split at the space and then take the first index. 0 index means the bearer, first index means the token. So that's how we get the token, and then it verifies token is null, which is not null in our case. Then it goes for the verification, and then request.user will be user, and then it goes the next, which is then further coming to the post where we have authentication. The next, after that, we do a post find with request user. Username is taken in, and the response or the callback function provides error post. If there is no error, then we filter it through element.username, which must be equal to request user.username, and hence if there is error, then you console the error. So that is how the routes work, guys, with the middleware in action. So as a recap, we studied about middleware, we studied about declaring model as a post, and then we combined all the routes through the index file, which of course can be done in the middleware together, so no issue there. So there's a lot of studies we did here. So if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel for more videos. That will be motivating me to make more videos. Hope your interest in Node.js is now become a reality and you wanted to study more Node.js. So keep watching my videos. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Bye bye.